Morning. Hope you're well. It's a bit after 6:30. The countdown is on to the end of daylight savings, which is going to be really good. What have we been doing? So it's been a couple of days since the last one. You would have seen the video putting the rice tyres on and getting bogged, or getting bogged and putting the rice tyres on. So today's actually come where we're going to get into rice harvest. So I stripped a sample yesterday afternoon. We're in the light so you can see me. I am full of the flu, that's why I sound a bit cloggy and my nose is extra red today. And I've got a beanie on. Stripped sample yesterday afternoon. It's gone 21.2, so it's got to be under 22%. Ground carried the machine all right. We did have, I think we would have mentioned on the other, we had sort of 13 mil of rain on Monday it was now, yeah. So anyway, so that sort of delayed the job a little bit. But it's all going to happen now. We're doing a bit of contract multi-disking. Well, we've been multi-disking our own place, but we've got a bit of contract stuff to do. And what else? Oh yeah, so I went over, I've actually got another mother bin. But when borrowed a neighbour, they used ours for corn harvest last year, so Josh offered it up, so we slipped over yesterday afternoon and got it. It's very high, and I haven't actually checked yet, but I'm hoping our chaser bin will fit over the side of it. Anyway, so we've got a road train teed up. He'll be here about 2 o'clock-ish. He was going, I spoke to him yesterday afternoon, he was loading to head to Melbourne and then bringing fertiliser back he said he'd be back about lunchtime, so, and then he'll come from there to here, so I'm sort of keen to get cracking so we can get him a load. They are talking rain again in a couple of days, so possibly even tomorrow, so we may only get today and tomorrow in. I'm hoping we can get a couple of days in, hence I wanted to get the mother bin. No, it's a bit more storage with everything else is full of seed and feed wheat and that sort of stuff, so we'll get that other mother bin and then he'll take about 50 tonne a load. It's pretty light rice, so he's sort of bulk densities not great. Header, so a couple of things. I think you can see here, the light's not brilliant. Hang on, I've got a light in my hand. It's better. You can see here, I'm not too sure whether it's just with this header being sitting out in the weather or what, but the guides for the retractable fingers are gone. So I got Sarah to go to Corowa yesterday afternoon and we got some new guides, so I'll swap them over. But the bigger issue at the moment, if you've been watching along, we put this new floor and that in under here, and a new bit of canvas along the bottom there. What I've actually done is, by accident, this here is spring loaded, which you can see the springs, and it had a hole in it. You might be able to see there where it's been a bit hot. I've welded a strip of stainless steel along there, and what's happening is, and it's not the full width of that, so there's about halfway is the edge of it, and what's happening is when we're letting the front down, the canvas is catching that bit of stainless and it's actually rolling that bit of canvas up and we're getting grain leaking out on the ground. So I'm going to try and it's going to be tricky, but I'm going to try and take these springs off. I don't know how I'm going to go, and then I can drop this door down and try and do something with it. So yeah, but you can see here it's quite kinked it, and it's a bit of a bugger, but anyway, I sort of need to get it sorted so we can, otherwise I don't want to have to take the feeder house off, but I want to get the header going. So anyway, seems to be going all right. Otherwise we'll get this fixed and get these guides in, and we're right to go. We've just got to put the chaser bin on the Magnum, it's here, and give it a wash out, and anyway, we'll have a tinker here and see how we go. It wasn't too bad. You can see the edge of that bit of tin there, bit of stainless steel sheet I welded in there. Hopefully you can. So that's what the canvas is catching on. So it's not really a drama when I'll stay there. Hopefully I can stay It's not a drama, obviously, when the front's right up, but when it's down's the issue. So what I'm thinking, if I'll just get another bit of sheet and just stitch it across there, and just to stop it from catching on the leading edge, catching on it. It hasn't done that canvas much good, to be honest, but anyway, I'm just hoping we can make it work. I could actually pull this bit out. It would actually come out without too much drama. Well, I think it might. Anyway, so that might be a bit easier and we can get at it. Anyway, we'll have a tack of this first, because I'm going to have to try and weld in there, which I haven't got a lot of room. That doesn't come down any further, and the feeder house is right up. So anyway, we'll see how we go. What I've done, I've just cut a strip about 100mm wide and just gone the full width of that plate, and I've just got a couple of vice grips holding it there, so hopefully I'll just stitch it along the front, and I'm hoping it'll just cover, just run over the top of that other join there. Might be able to clamp it down and just get a couple of, sort of little bit of a, sorry, the bloody torch is in the road. Yeah, just stitch it a little bit in there. I won't get too carried away in case we've got to pull it off again. It might be a winter job, but it should do the trick, and it'll just come up flat against there, just so it hasn't got an edge to catch on. But it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Anyway, it is what it is, unfortunately, now. Hopefully that'll do the trick. You can just see there, it's before the sort of canvas was hooked out here before. It was a bit of a balls up actually, but anyway, I'm hoping it's going to seal up all right. So we'll just keep an eye on it anyway. Go time. So we've actually been going for a little while. Can't give you a yield estimate because I don't know what's going on with this monitor, but we are running 0 yield. But as you can sort of see, there's plenty coming in. So the road train's here. We've probably stripped 50 odd tonne already off. What have we done? We've done about 5 hectares. So yeah, roughly. So it's doing its 10 or better. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not too sure. Truckee hasn't carted. It's a different contractor to what we usually use. The usual guys sort of tied up, they were too busy, so we've got another local guy, I think I didn't mention. So yeah, so he's got a road train. So Rice being pretty light, he should get 50. He's 50 tonne on with the 2 trailers, so we'll just have to wait and see. But quite heavy dew this morning. The front was quite wet, and yeah, it was pretty tough chewing there for a bit, but it has improved a fair bit. We're sort of doing our 4 kilometres an hour roughly, and yeah, it's feeding in. Everything's sort of got the rust off it and that sort of thing now, so it is feeding in pretty well. We probably could generally just sort of talking to guys that strip a bit of rice, like a 25-foot front's probably ideal. We're only sort of 20, but it seems the machine's handling it fine. We do have, when I started with the samples the other day, I had the spreaders lifted up, so I've actually pulled the veins, or the sort of fins that direct the chaff on the back. I've pulled them right in, and yeah, it's actually doing a pretty good job spreading the chaff and that out. Hang on a minute. needed both hands. So as haven't got auto steer, so I'm doing it with both. I need both hands most of the time at the moment. So, but yeah, pretty happy so far. The ground's not too bad. We had only sort of one moment where yeah, just had to back out, which was fine. But yeah, having those tyres on backwards that's the sort of reason why we do it, so we can back out if we need to. I probably got a bit close to one of the tow furrows against the bank, I think, and yeah, so once I moved over a bit, it was fine. So anyway, so yeah, we're only into our second bay, so you probably can't see the truck over there, but won't be long, he'll be loaded. So yeah, it's all sort of all going to plan at the moment. We just need the weather to give us a bit of a go, and it's quite warm. I just pulled up. We had a few dramas. The mother bin's not actually hooked on to the chaser bin. I didn't do that, and they started to load, and the in there. I can talk and drive. That's better. Yeah, the mother bin started to head off down the hill as he was starting to load, which wasn't ideal. So there was a bit of panic. So I was full, so we went over, and yeah, Brendan was actually back here as well, and my dad was here, so we chocked a few wheels, and yeah, all's all right. But yeah, it was heading off on its own little journey down the hill. So anyway, it's worked out all right. What do we got here? Grab that. You wonder why I drink my circus and my monkeys this time round. Frightened the hell out of me. I didn't know what was going on. Saw it jump up, I thought it was a kangaroo, and saw the black, and anyway, she just wants to be with her owner. Could have been disastrous. Anyway, all's well as ends well, as they say. Just having a bit of trouble. I don't know whether you can see that there. Bit of a wet spot here at the end of this bay. Just trying to navigate around it. Can yeah, it's been pretty good, the ground, but yeah, for whatever reason we just reasonably well here. It's yielding pretty well. Ground is only just. Yeah, had to back out a couple of times, and a couple of spots where we've had to unload. Once I've unloaded and got the weight off it, it hasn't been too bad. When we do the corners, you can sort of see what I've done there. We keep the corners pretty square. I'll keep the corners sort of square, yeah, rather than up and back. Just so you can, rather we sort of go round and round the block and do a square corner rather than yeah, up and back like we would do if we were harvesting cereals or canola. Just sort of in case we've got to unload if we're bogged or something, and so just say you got the auger on the outside of the crop all the time. So it's not too bad, but we're just finding in spots whether just sort of fill areas are a bit damp still. It does have a bottom in it, which is good, but yeah, a couple of times there I sort of looked in the rear vision mirror and the back wheels were dragging, so you know, if we were full-wheel drive, probably from experience in the past with the other header, the full-wheel drive probably doesn't give you much more push, but it stops you from those wheels from dragging. So but yeah, no, it's all rocking along pretty well at the moment. It's about 5:30, so we won't get a lot. We'll might get through till 6:30 maybe. I haven't heard what the go is with how the road train's got on yet. He rang before, he was over there, so yeah, fingers crossed he'll tip off shortly. We'll get a bit of an idea of weights and that sort of stuff. We can do a bit of a rough idea of sort of wet yield. Anyway, it's all going plan at the moment so far. The first 3 bays have gone, yielded very well, just on what we've had one road train delivered, and I assume Kev's on his way back to get another load. We've got our mother bins chock-a-block again, and Tony's just started filling the other bin, which I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, so we've done the first 3 bays, and now we've jumped over to the next one. This bay's a bit better underfoot. We were battling a little bit, just in a couple of fill areas there, but we didn't actually get bogged. We had to back out a couple of times. So we're starting to, once the sun goes down, like it's about 6:15, so once the sun gets a bit lower, we'll have to pull up anyway. Just the dew starts to come up, and as you can imagine, the green gets pretty tough. So we're just starting to rumble a bit now anyway. But yeah, pretty happy initially. It's yeah, good hard work's paying off, which is good. So yeah, everything's sort of rolling along pretty well at the moment. Sample was good. I think there was only sort of 0.6% trash. I basically just set the header up to what the book said, but I haven't touched it. There doesn't seem to be a lot out on the ground. There all seems to be what's on the ground are sort of those flatheads that have got no grain in them anyway. But it's quite deceiving. Like there's a lot of stalk and a lot of flag leaf. Like you can't really see the grain in the crop. So usually, you know, the flag sort of dies off and you're sort of left with the grain. But yeah, it's a bit of a strange one not having grown it for a little bit, but apparently it's a varietal thing from what I'm hearing. So anyway, but hopefully I've spoken to our case dealer there, the Manitou dealers. We won't have trouble with the Manitou in the mornings. Once it gets cold, it sort of goes into a limp mode and won't drive. Not too sure what the go is. You can sort of start it and leave it running for 30 minutes, 30 minutes is half an hour, idiot. 30 minutes, 3/4 an hour, and then once it's warm, it's right. So they're going to come out and have a look at that. But while they're coming out, I'm going to find out what's going on with this yield monitor, because, well, I think I showed you, it's got no yield. It's not registered a yield. We're not drawing a yield map or anything. So I've got the GPS screen in here just purely to feed it, a GPS feed into the screen for the mapping, but it's not tilted for whatever reason. We've got moisture, but no yield, so I'm not too sure what's going on. Hopefully the sensor hasn't died or something like that, but I haven't been concerned about it. I just wanted to keep things rolling with the rain and coming the next couple of days. I wasn't going to pull up and wait for it, so but yeah, it's a bit of a Bit of a strange one. You keep looking, when you're driving the header, most of the time you're looking at that screen to see what the yield's doing, and we look at it and we've just got nothing. So anyway, it is what it is, unfortunately. So, but another half an hour, maybe another couple of boxfuls, and that'll probably do today. So this is the road train. So it's two 36-foot, 34-foot tippers, sorry, and he's not taking all the mother bin. We've been filling it both sides, getting a chock-a-block. So he had about 53 tonne on before. He grosses about 81, and yeah, then they work it back because our moisture's, well, 21.5. They do a calculation and you end up with about 40. We had just shy of 49 tonne dry grain which is what we get paid on. So we've got another mother bin here that we've borrowed, as I mentioned. And yeah, we've started filling it, so see what the weather brings tomorrow. Yeah, got the header back here. Everything looks all right. Concaves look to be working all right. But yeah, definitely cooled down. I've got the jumper on again now. Yeah, and I'll probably go for the beanie in a sec. So yeah, anyway, it's all happening. It's good to get going. It's good to get a bit off, and it's yielding well, which is even better. So yeah, almost done. Righto, thanks for watching. We'll see you again on the next one. Thank you. Bye.